Yeah, so over here we have Beam Design System. And so we have, this is our folder called the Foundation. So we're building our responsive web kit right here. And then we tear out some of our other kits like our illustrative icons, our material icons, outline. Those are separate files. But kind of one thing that we do is before we do any of our work, we basically have a file that, and this file actually gets pretty messy. This is our research file. So this is where we're going to come in. We're going to do a whole lot of research. So if I'm going to take on building alerts next and TOAST, I'm going to go and I'm going to see what the major design systems are, how other popular apps are using that. And then I'm going to go through, my ideation of coming up with some things before I get some feedback from designers. And then we kind of keep going down that process. And then that's when we start building something into the responsive web kit. So here you can see we're not too far along. We have these green, they represent things that we consider ready. We're not actually using version control, which is in beta now for Figma. Maybe it's out of beta, I'm not sure yet. I just haven't had the bandwidth to really take that on. So here you're looking at what I would call our sticker sheets for our style tokens. So this is going to show you like our headings and our paragraphs. Excuse these red lines, those are for developers. This is going to be all our links and our color styles for using fonts and the examples of them. And so we try to do two things, right? When we set up tokens and components, we're going to set up those things, and then we're going to also write some usage guidelines. We're going to make sure we're exposing all the states that you're going to need, so the developers have everything they need. I mean, a crazy file, I'll just do a little hover over here. This is Joelle's working on forms right now. Just a monster project that Joelle's doing an amazing job at. So you can imagine building all those components. There's a lot of work there. Of course, you have your color file and what we call surfaces. So any questions that we only have we're in the works on like 4 or 5 other components right now. And then also in the works of starting to build it as an actual product that will be a full stack design system and from design to code.
And one of the reasons we are not using branching yet in Figma is because we are kind of really going as fast as we can. There's not that many people. I mean, some people starting to use some of the component, but some of them, there's some little bit of warning, like, you can use them, but they are still changing. But when we will have, enough component and people will start to really pull all these components in their design, then we'll absolutely use branching to be sure that we don't, and not only branching, but branching and the right level of communication to inform people when we are going to make any change.
Yeah, and so here you'll see a setup left to right, where basically when we start, we usually build like what we call templates that we can get as much reuse out as possible. So if we're going to have a variant that you see, I have this variant here that has, I don't know, like maybe 80 variants or something. We build these templates so that if we want to change the radius, or this morning I decided I wanted to add a hover state to the close icon, I can go ahead and just add that into the template, and then that will nest into all my variant components so that I don't have to break anything or do shift selects on 80 items. Both Joelle and I are big proponents of having templates that can enhance the speed at which you can work. And then down here, that would be the variant sheet. Then we make sheets with, these are called the guideline sheets. These are going to show everything that they can do. And then we would add like do's and don'ts for the design system. And then of course, examples of usage in the interface. So we're, we don't have this all worked out, right? A lot of this we're working out as we go, and we did some of this last time, but what I find with anything in my career is the more I do it, the better we get, right? You just got to keep at it and keep learning, and each time you build a design system, you just get that much better.
This looks great, so beautiful. And you have from like the basic components to variants all the way to like a full page templates, which I think is like really helpful for the whole design team to use. And I'm just wondering, can you show us maybe a quick demo, like how you can how you can pull those components together, like how easier to use a design system compared to Sketch?
Yes, I was not planning on it, so hopefully nothing goes wrong. I can show you something pretty cool here, but I just built this the other day. So this is a page that's embedded in a smart layout frame. So all of these have been set up with smart layout. So I think some of you will appreciate this when you add something to a page. Super annoying, right? When you have to go edit it, but not if you have smart layout, because as soon as you take it out that item, it just rolls out. And this, so these pages that we built, each time I add a line of text, all this is componentized. So if I want to add a new line of text right here, I can just copy it. I can use my arrow keys and then place it where I want, but I don't want that, right? So it becomes very powerful to use auto layout. So I can come in here, I can say, well, I really want the error at the bottom, which we wouldn't want. I can come in and I can easily change to dark mode if I was working in dark mode. Or I can easily just go ahead and change the state. So over here on the right, I've set up all my variants. I can turn the close on and off. If I want to do a combo, button only or a combo, I can just turn those things all on. So those have all been pre-programmed in the variant, essentially. So that once the designers now accept this, I haven't actually released this component yet, but once they do, they will have all these options available to them. And then the design system, we will build this component. So when a designer goes and puts this error, this success message into their application, the developers will already have it ready within the design system to use. So that is how we'll do it, you know, the end-to-end tracking with the design system.